Reddit accounts abandoned for disturbing reasons. And we're gonna get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment your thing down below. Let's go!
The first Reddit account we'll be looking at is called Killer Kun. At least that's how I'm assuming it's pronounced. We're not going to be going through all of his comments because there's a lot of them, but I can safely say that there's nothing in them that suggests there's even anything remotely disturbing related to this account. And for some reason, the last comment ever made on this account was on a post titled Little Ginger Twat, and he said, "It looks like she doesn't even have an ass crack, LMAO." But yeah, like I said, comment-wise, there's really nothing disturbing here. His posts are pretty innocent too. Last time he ever made was about a comedian called Peace O'Neill. A couple of music posts, a few removed posts, but there is this one that he posted in r/pics titled, "My son thinks everything's a phone," and shows a toddler sitting at his desk holding what looks like a computer mouse to his ear. Someone replied saying, "Genuinely curious, when was this taken? The computer looks like it's running Windows 3.1. There's a smartphone on the desk. Is this from an alternate universe?" And he replied with, "It was taken about 3 days ago, haha. It's at my mum's job. She works for the state of New Jersey. She's a case manager for the appellate courts. Our governor is Chris Christie, so it's no surprise they're not running the latest OS." This post was 9 years ago, and unfortunately, all in this photograph would have something truly terrible happen to him due to the man behind his account. The man behind the username Killer Kun was Christopher Kun, a 27-year-old father from New Jersey. In October 2017, Kun with his 2-year-old son, the same boy from that photo, was at Walmart in Pennsylvania. He wasn't there for groceries. He attempted to shoplift a $228 Bezos soundbar from the store. As security guard confronted him, Kun ran. He rushed out to his Jeep, placed his toddler inside without putting the car seat, and sped off. Kun fled at high speed around a red light at a busy intersection.
Okay, this guy can go fuck himself. Immediately, I go fuck himself.
The SUV T-boned into the car. The crash forcibly ejected Kun's unrestrained son onto the roadway. According to witnesses, Kun got out, walked out to his gravely injured child, and stepped over his son's body and continued his escape on foot. He did not attempt to help his son at all. Police chased Kun down and arrested him on the sector. All of the frantically attended to the boy. His son was rushed to a nearby hospital, but he was pronounced dead from his injuries shortly after. An investigation followed. Officials found that Kun had opioids and marijuana in his system at the time. He was also driving with a suspended license. The authorities charged Kun with a long list of offences, including third-degree murder for the death of his son. In March 2018, that
one I understand why they're charging him with murder. He put his son in a legitimate dangerous situation. He put his son in a vehicle unstrapped and sped full force.
Jury found him guilty of killing his 2-year-old child, who was also convicted on related charges, ranging from homicide by vehicle to child endangerment. That summer, a judge sentenced Christopher Kun to between 8.5 to 30 years in state prison for his crimes. I know I said none of his comments seemed to suggest anything's wrong with him, but there was one comment by him that aged very poorly considering what happened. He replied to an elderly post saying, "But if I always keep my gun and a pound of weed in passenger seats, at least he might appreciate how on their seatbelts." Christopher obviously said that's a joke, but considering not long after, his son would die in a car crash because his father got high and decided to steal a soundbar from Walmart, and then carelessly got into a high-speed chase without even putting his son's seatbelt, before crashing and running away like a coward and needing to die. This comment really is just pretty hard to read. I haven't been able to find any concrete evidence of him being released, so here's hoping he's still rotting in a prison cell where he belongs for what he did. Aoki Mom is short for an Oklahoma mom. As the name suggests, the person running this account was a mother from Oklahoma, and she frequently posted about her family life, sharing everyday challenges and personal stories.
Why on earth did I think? Why did I think it was Aoki Iman? Why is that what I read and not Aoki Mom?
She once mentioned in the comments that she married her husband when she was just 15 years old. Her posts painted a picture of a busy, devoted mom. Everything she wrote came across as ordinary and upbeat. She didn't make many posts and seemed focused mostly on commenting. The one post she made in Random Acts of Polish showed her revealing quite a bit about herself and her family. In a post titled Intro, First Time Here, she said, "Hi, I was thrilled when I came across Reddit. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 7 with 4 boys and 3 girls who love doing their nails. I prefer to go have my nails done, but usually do not have the time to actually get them done. So I'm going to find ways to make them look just as good at home." Some replied with, "Hi, mother. Sounds like you have quite the household. How old are your kids?" Aoki Mom replied with, "Hi, thanks. I have an 18-year-old boy, a 16-year-old boy, a 12-year-old girl, an 11-year-old boy, 9-year-old boy, 4-year-old girl. My last little one was born 23 weeks at 1 pound 8 ounces, July 2013. She's a true miracle, and now over a year old. So she only gets to pretend culture now, lol." Another comment said, "Hi, welcome to our little family. I'm a stay-at-home mom too, and my son's on 3. Although he does have his nails painted too, lol." Aoki Mom replied with, "My 18-year-old son hates when I tell him he uses his nails polished at that age. I really like dark colors and traditional reds. My girls are all about sparkles." As you just heard, that post revealed quite a bit about the family, namely how many children she has, how old they are, and of course the difficult birth of her youngest daughter, who was born 7 months prematurely.
I'm scared on what the end result will be, because this is abandoned for a disturbing reason. Something's about to happen.
It's very clear that she dearly loved her family, but unfortunately, something terrible would happen to that family due to the actions committed by people very close to her. Aoki Mom's real name was April Laverne Beaver, a 44-year-old wife and mother from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Her Reddit activity abruptly stopped in late June 2015. A few weeks later, in July 2015, her account would become permanently silent for a horrifying reason. April was dead. On the night of July 22nd, 2015, the Beaver family's home became seen for gruesome familicide. April, her husband David, and 3 of their children were brutally killed inside the house. As I said, the perpetrators were strangers, but people close to them. In fact, they were April's own 2 oldest sons, 18-year-old Robert, the same 18-year-old she mentioned before, and 16-year-old Michael.
Insane. To be 18 and 16-year-olds, and you decide you're going to
The 2 teenage boys had armed themselves with knives and carried out a premeditated attack on their family. In the end, 5 members of the Beaver family lost their lives in the massacre. The details of the crime shocked everyone. April's 12-year-old son, 7-year-old son, and 5-year-old daughter were among the victims that night. Another daughter, who was 13, survived despite severe stab wounds and managed to identify her brothers as the attackers. The youngest daughter, who as mentioned earlier had been born prematurely and was 2 years old by the time, was found unharmed in the house. Police arrived after a 911 call and quickly apprehended Robert and Michael.
Even though they were killing everyone, they could not bring themselves to hurt the 2-year-old. The 2-year-old they left. They could not bring themselves to hurt
Tried to
that one.
flee the scene.
But they would
The
find
Beaver
word
brothers
every
were
other child.
arrested, and the extent of their deadly plan began to emerge during the investigation. It turned out they'd fantasized about killing dozens of people, starting with their family. One of the brothers set plans for killings, having stolen a flash drive inside the house. The police found the drive when they searched the home for a second time. They also found computer equipment and video cameras, which they believed the boys used to film the murders, due to something located near where 3 of the bodies were found. The police determined that Robert and Michael were only making 2 videos, one that would show the bodies of their family to be shown to investigators and prosecutors, and another about bodies they would post online. They were charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder.
Wait, hold on. What was the plan with the video with the bodies? You give it to the family, you give it to the police now. Who the fuck do they think? Who do you think's gonna get arrested for? You think
And
you were
1
gonna
count
get
of
away with
assault
that?
and battery with intent
you're
to
the only
kill.
people in there,
It was
so
also
I'm-
decided that 16-year-old Michael would be charged as an adult. While their crimes could have possibly carried the death sentence, Michael was exempt due to being under the age of 18 at the time. Robert Beaver pleaded guilty and was given 5 life sentences without the possibility of parole. Michael was given...
Look, I don't know if I'm just me, but if I'm getting 5 life sentences, I'm like, just fucking sentence me to death. I'm pretty much serving a life sentence on death row. Since they fucking
given
barely
5
ever
life
put anyone to
sentences
sentence,
with the
fucking
possibility of
execute anyone
parole
anymore.
up to 225 years. It really is crazy to think those 2 boys went to murder April, considering how much she loved her family. In one of the last posts, she even talked about how Robert had been working and how Michael just graduated early from online high school. She expressed joy being able to spend every day with her children as they grew up. Reading those words now is heartbreaking, knowing that the 2 boys she was so proud of were secretly planning to tell on their family. There were no warnings in her posts, just normal pride and everyday concerns. Also, it's worth noting that Robert actually had a YouTube channel called Cult Empire Official, which I know is when I made my last worst YouTubers video because it was 100% to be on the list.
Alright, new video. I got my video up waiting for the first heavy load playthrough. Sadly, something happened, and at the last the game crashed, and so I got a little slow. I cut out some for a bit. There's just silence, hoping it would come back. It didn't, though. So I'll upload part 2 sometime soon, probably with a better video called Second Up Video Subject. It's called a Faux. Right, I should recommend this. I hope it's still.
Okay, you kind of messed up. You know what? Now, after watching this video, I would believe you murdered your family. You kind of come off as some weird. You're not all there.
Looks like a
You
faux.
fucking don't.
I did. Well, done more here. I just shaped this look like a faux. In the next couple days, I'm going to try to get actual faux. And this before I start filming my playthrough of Capitals. Thirdly, YouTube, and not. I uploaded my first video of the Dark Forces playthrough for Cult Empire Classic. There was like no audio. It's completely weird. I had commentary. It was hilarious. It was 20 minutes of my life. So then I made another playthrough with no audio just because, you know, I heard a couple other people had experienced the same thing. So then I uploaded it, and there's no option to remove audio. Anyway, for some reason, I thought last time I looked, there was an option to remove audio from video. And guess what? Yeah, they actually have audio this time, and I played my second let's play. So you heard my breathing. It's just... That's me. Alright. Vlog, verse number 3. Cult Empire Official. The outro.
Nanosaur seems to be account entirely devoted to hosting about video games. It was particularly active in Sea of Thieves, Overwatch, and Warframe subreddits, and it really didn't reveal anything about the use behind it. Neither did the Steam accounts with the same name. Indeed, nothing about the Reddit accounts or the Steam accounts even remotely hint that the person behind it is an actual monster. That man's name is Levi Dane Simmons, who led a double life but following his hobby channel Reddit. On the surface, Simmons was a young man who was like being an avid gamer, was also very active in the furry community. He was introduced to the furry fandom by one of his Steam friends in 2010. The person who introduced it to it was apparently a Scaly, whose first son was Dragon. Considering Levi only had 16 friends, and one of them happened to be called the Naked Dragon, it's most likely that this is the
Okay, so I know something about the furry community that makes me go, I have a guess on why he's on here. But I'll see if I'm right or wrong.
person who introduced him to the furry fandom. The persona he made for himself was a weird dog Pope hybrid thing. He just if I'm honest. After spending a lot
Agreed.
in the furry community, Levi would then start introducing other people to it. One of the people he gets into the furry fandom was his friend Joshua Hoffman, also known as Kiro the Wolf. But Levi had a much darker side, where he would go by a different name, Snake Thing. He was one of the key figures in one of the most disturbing crimes in recent internet history. In 2018, a leak of chat logs from a private Telegram group unknown horrifying secrets. Those leaked logs revealed that Levi Dane Simmons was a key organizer in an underground network of zoo sadists, people who drive pleasure from the torture of animals. In these chats, he acted shit on cruelty, and even bragged about committing them himself. He focused on abusing animals and minors, including his own young relatives. In one instance, he claimed to have ripped a puppy, a detail shocked and sickened anyone who read the transcripts. This disturbing online trail turned Simmons from a skilled figure in the furry community into the central figure of a criminal investigation. The 2018 leak, sometimes called the Zoonin leaks, exposed years worth of Simmons' private messages, complete with videos and photos documenting unimaginable abuse. Investigators learned that Simmons and few accomplices had been producing and trading videos of
This is what I thought it was, so I'm glad I nailed that one. Fucking psychos these people are.
animal cruelty on the dark web, treating it like some twisted game of one-upmanship. He even partnered with an overseas event known as Wolf, who exchanged increasingly extreme content. Some of the material was so extreme that even hardened officers were sickened. Videos of girls being tortured and killed with justification were among the evidence. It was now painfully clear that behind the name Snake Thing was the one responsible for some of the worst crimes imaginable against animals and children. Law enforcement initially struggled to bring Simmons to justice. In late 2018, after the first round of leaks, police arrested him in Coos County, Oregon, and a video surfaced of him something a puppy on camera. That video, recorded by Simmons himself, was intended to be shared with a secret group. However, legal hurdles meant this first arrest didn't stick. By the time authorities obtained the evidence, Simmons' time had passed, under outdated statutes and limitations, and critical proof of the animal abuse could not be used to prosecute him. In the chaos after the leaks, Simmons was briefly in custody, but they were more free due to technicalities. For a while, it looked like this predator might escape any real consequences, but the story didn't end there. Investigators kept digging, and by the end of 2019, they found a way to hold Simmons accountable. On December 4, 2019, Levi Dane Simmons was arrested again. This time, was a felony charge of animal abuse. Prosecutors charged him with multiple counts of encouraging assault, abuse of person in second degree, along with several counts of encouraging sexual assault of an animal. These charges indicated that Simmons had been possessing and sharing child porn and bestiality content, prior to carry heavy penalties. If convicted on all counts, he was facing a very real prospect of spending the rest of his life in prison. The internet, horrified by the revelations of his activities, would release a hit this time. He wouldn't slip through the cracks. His arrest made headlines in niche communities and sent a clear signal that law was finally catching up to him. Justice eventually did catch up to him in a big way. In early 2020, he pleaded guilty to several charges and was sentenced to 25 years in prison. It's a great outcome, but one that ensures he can no longer harm any more victims. What's crazy is he apparently had access to a Telegram account directly to the person who leaked all of the messages because he apparently had a blackmail fetish. Somehow not realizing that decision would come back to bite him in the ass. Obviously, he was ready to cancel.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea how a blackmail fetish works. I have no idea how someone would actually think that would not fuck their fucking lives up. This guy
Is abandoned and will be for quite a long time, assuming he actually survives his prison sentence. I don't think any of us would be upset if he didn't. So I was to make a video like this, I had to end it with quite possibly the most infamous credit of all. Back in 2009, a Reddit user named Carl H started something that would change hundreds of lives. He was a programmer who believed everyone should have access to computer science education, and that this book in r/programming titled "Anyone here not a programmer, but you want to learn?" And he says, "I've been programming for over 15 years. I have a great deal of free time. I enjoy teaching beginners, and I'm willing to teach anyone who wants to learn. This is especially intended for those who want to learn, cannot afford a university course, or who have tried to teach themselves successfully. Not charge, just me being nice and hopefully helping someone out. I can only take on so many students, so I apologize that I can't personally reply to everyone. There are still slots available, and I will edit this when it changes. It's cool to see others offer to do this also. If anyone else wants to similarly contribute, please feel free to do so. Because he received so many requests, he decided to start his own subreddit, Carl H Programming. But like I said, you have completely free programming lessons, starting from the absolute basics and working up to advanced concepts. And he's watched some generic tutorials of people just find online. When someone got stuck, he personally walked them through the problem. He spent hours in one-on-one Skype sessions with struggling students, never charging a dime. He also posted some of his lessons to his YouTube channel, which would eventually grow to over 30,000 subscribers. Even today, if you go back and watch them, you may actually be able to find some self-teaching material. Users on Reddit loved him. In July 2012, Carl...
I've heard of this guy, but I don't remember what this guy did. I've heard of this count. I have no memory of what he did.
H was named Redditor of the Day. People would post about how he changed their careers, how they find some programming concepts confused over the years. One user wrote calls, the first person who made coding actually clicked for them. Another said he got the first programming job thanks to his lessons. He would respond to nearly every question in his subreddit. When someone felt discouraged after a bad job interview, Carl Weber said he never insulted African that way, as he encouraged them to keep learning and try again later. He came across as thoughtful, supportive, and endlessly patient, the kind of teacher everyone wished they had. By late 2013, Carl H had been running his programming community for 4 years. But then in November, out of nowhere, everything just stopped. No more videos were posted to the YouTube channel, and he was no longer responding on Reddit. Carl H disappeared. Users started asking where he'd gone, if he was okay, as some were worried he might be sick or dealing with personal issues. It turns out he was dealing with some issues, but not the type that anyone could possibly predict. The Carl H programming subreddit would come to learn that their teacher, Carl Harrell, had been arrested in Huntsville, Alabama, along with his domestic partner, Charles Donovan. Carl was facing 18 counts, including sodomy, sexual abuse of child as well, aggravated child abuse, and producing child. The victim was his own 9-year-old son. According to prosecutors, Carl and Donovan held the boy captive for 8 months. He hadn't been enrolled in school, hadn't seen a doctor.
This guy, now lock this guy, send this guy to hell. Send him to hell, it's okay. No one will miss him. Send this son of a bitch stuff in hell.
And he'd been completely isolated from the outside world. The FBI found over 100 photographs. Investigators struggled to even identify the child because the images were so disturbing. They looked along and possible identification. The case expanded into a federal investigation, with authorities looking into connections to large child. The Carl H programming subreddit was devastated. Users couldn't believe Carl they knew was the same monster described in news reports. Carl's attorney met with him in late October 2014. He said Carl seemed upbeat, still maintains innocence, and he discussed trial. Carl scheduled to appear in federal court in Syracuse, New York, on November 21st to face child pornography charges. On November 3rd, jail staff found Carl Harold hanged in his cell. Charles Donovan pled guilty in federal court to crossing state lines with intent to engage in sexual act with a minor. In November 2015, he was sentenced to 36 years in prison. Carl's YouTube accounts and Reddit accounts still remain out to this day, as does the Carl H programming subreddit. But these days, it's mostly people posting about Carl himself, and the same person who occasionally explained coding concepts to strangers can be capable of such an awful crime. But over 4 years, Carl Harold produced hours of educational content and gained hundreds of grateful students who learned to code from his lessons, but also left a son who survived 8 months of hell at his hands. The username Carl H is now forever linked to a man who can only be described as a monster, and who may have dubbed the most hated man on Reddit.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this reaction video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all for the next one. Turns out, Chris
Young Nick never